Aaron Judge just signed a massive deal to stay with the Yankees for another 9 years. What does this mean for the other MLB teams trying to sign players this offseason? Let's go. At the beginning of 2022, Judge turned down a $216 million contract offer with the Yankees. It looks like that paid off.
Yeah, betting on yourself, man. You got to do it sometimes, right? If only betting on ourselves made us an extra couple $100 million.
I know, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah. Just going to take a sip of this coffee. This is like hot off the press. This is early, yeah.
It's early this morning, yeah. It's been announced that Aaron Judge is in agreement with the Yankees, 9 years, $360 million.
So what happened? Yeah, I was going to say what happened. So I think there was some rumors floating around about the Giants. I think everyone kind of thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, even John Heyman posted it. He posted that he thought that the Giants were going to make a move. He didn't say it was reported or actual, but apparently he had to even come out and apologize later and say, "Listen, I was wrong. My apologies." Even before the announcement of the Yankees just came out. But yeah, the Giants were clearly hot in the mix, but nobody has ever had, I don't think, as much leverage over the Yankees as Aaron Judge had. You know, going out there, winning the MVP, winning the hearts and soul of all the Yankees fans out there. If he would have gone to the Giants and gone back to his home state in California, I think Yankee fans would have rioted. So obviously Hal Steinbrenner had to step up and pay the man, and he sure did. I think he's going to be making, what, $40 million a year?
Yeah, 9 years, $360 million. That's more than $100 million more than the contract they originally offered him. How long was that original contract? Do you know? 260?
I believe it was about I think it was the same. It was either 8 or 9 years. Yeah.
So that's more than $100 million more. So yeah, definitely paid off. What do you think as far as how that's going to work for the Yankees team? Do you think that's a good move on their part? I mean, you were saying how the fans would have rioted, but
yeah,
realistically, do you think it's a good move?
I mean, they're the Yankees. They got all kinds of money to spend. I feel like they almost didn't have a choice. You got to go and get them. You got to lock them down. Because I think they're paying Garrett Cole $36.5 million. Don't quote me on that. But then I think Stanton.
See, that didn't really work out for them. That huge contract to Garrett Cole.
Well, not yet. We'll see. Yeah. He's still got so much time on it. Same with they traded for Stanton and then signed him. You know, I think they owe him like another 30-some million every year. I mean, we don't have anybody currently on the Twins that we pay $30 million, and that's just 3 that I can think of off the top of my head on their team. You know, So they kind of had to do it because if all of a sudden Aaron Judge walks and becomes a San Francisco Giant, man, everybody's going to be quite upset over there in New York. So,
well,
it all came together.
Yeah. So, okay, what does this mean then for other teams and other free agents out there then overall in the league?
I think everybody was waiting for this ball to drop, and now that the Aaron Judge ball has officially dropped and he's been signed, that is going to just start. The market's going to start exploding. My phone's been going off even during this, and I saw.
Give us some updates.
Well, actually, right now, Jose Quintana just signed with the Mets for $13 million a year for 2 years, it looks like. And then Kenley Jansen is going to the Red Sox. No longer going to be with the Dodgers or the Braves. He's going to be a Red Sox for a couple of years. So that's big news. Right. And that's literally I just heard my phone buzzing right now. But I think that's what you're going to deal with all day today and tomorrow. I think today might be the last day of the winter meetings. So, this is big news for all of the teams, all of the free agents too. I think are all like, thank goodness he's finally signed. He's opened the door for everybody else. And it was reported earlier this morning too, right after the contract was officially announced, that he actually flew to San Diego, I think last night or the day before, and nobody knew about it. And he flew there, and they put in a huge offer too. And some reports are coming out saying they might have even put in a bigger offer than either the Giants or the Yankees, but yet he still chose to go to New York. But we heard the same thing with Trey Turner, that Trey Turner got a bigger offer from San Diego, and he still went to Philly. So clearly San Diego's got some money to spend, and they're ready to spend it, and they want to sign some big guys. So I think some of these big free agent names that are still out there are going to be calling up San Diego and saying, hey, what do you want to offer me now? So, and obviously they're they're looking at shortstops because they're looking at Trey Turner. They're looking at outfielders because they can move Tatis anywhere. They could put him in the outfield or at
Well,
shortstop.
I was gonna say, like, why is that? Why Trey didn't want to go to San Diego? Because Tatis is already there, or were they just gonna move him? I don't know.
I
I guess.
don't know for sure. I would assume that Trey Turner would have been playing shortstop and they would have moved Tatis to the outfield because I think that's where they want to end up eventually anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Giants and the Padres in on some of the big shortstops that are left out there on the table. Hopefully we see the Twins in on that obviously too, but the Cubs.
Okay,
clearly,
does this have any? Sorry, does this
yeah.
have any sort of implications with Carlos Correa and the Twins?
Oh my
Do you think
gosh, I think the market's going crazy for Carlos Correa right now. He's the next best free agent out there, unless somebody out there thinks that Xander Bogaerts or Dansby Swanson. I mean, there is Carlos Rondon. Those are kind of the big four, I would say, in my mind, that are left out there that are going to get some big money. And for the Twins trying to land Carlos Correa, I saw an interview actually yesterday on MLB Network's Sirius XM radio or something that it was with Correa's agent, who's the agent for everybody, Scott Boras, and always is looking to up everybody's deals. And in the interview, he said something along the lines of Minnesota may be the land of 10,000 lakes, but right now they're fishing in an ocean. Not a great sign. I don't know. It doesn't sound like Carlos Correa is coming here with a quote like that, but I don't know. They're not going to stop talking to Scott Boras. They can't stop talking to him because also we have Royce Lewis, who is also under contract with Boras. So, there are going to be ties there for many years to come, whether you like it or not. So you've got to keep him and his agency happy as well as his clients like Carlos Correa. So I don't know. I think this really, especially everybody knowing that the Padres are willing to spend and the Giants are clearly willing to spend, Correa is going to be the front runner for both of those teams. And I think it just moved the Twins from being the front runner to third or maybe even fourth behind the Cubs as well in trying to land him. So you can't blame a guy for taking several $1 million more to go to San Diego or something if they offer him that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, so is that, like, what do you have a prediction, or is it still, like, what do you think? You think Padres, you think Cubs, what do you think?
From the beginning, I've been saying the Cubs, and I'm gonna stick to that because I still think that he's gonna end up with the Cubs, and then I'll still get to at least kind of see him if I can drive down there. But I don't know. I think Rondon may be somebody that the Padres are going to look at really hard because they don't have Sean Manaea now and they could replace him. And there's not a lot of talk about Rondon going there. He's been talked a lot more about going to the Mets, but we'll see. Clearly they're going to spend money, but the Twins have money to spend too. And that's the thing. They've got $60 to $80 million this offseason, less than what they had last year and what they have
more
to
or
spend.
less?
More. We have more money to spend this year than we've ever had to spend.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I thought you said less. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Less on our books right now than what we had in the offseason last year. So it's like they're either going to hold their pockets tight and not spend that, but I don't know. They're going to have to do something. And whether it's via trade or free agency, they're going to have to make some moves this year. I think they spend some big money on a big pitcher and maybe some trades for a catcher or more, but if Correa goes somewhere, I think they spend the money on Wilson Contreras and take the gamble that he'll be able to catch for a couple years and then be a DH.
Okay. Well, okay. So, you had mentioned pitching too. So there's been some big moves like DeGrom to the Rangers, Verlander to the Mets. Has there been any other big moves out there?
Yeah. Some of the notable ones, including Mr. Cody Bellinger, another MVP. He went to the Cubs. Josh Bell went to the Guardians, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping he might come into Minnesota, and now we have to face him in Cleveland, and that's not ideal because I think they're our number one competitor this year, maybe the White Sox, who actually finished higher than us in the standings at the last minute last year. But, Josh Bell to the Guardians, Bellinger to the Cubs, Andrew Heaney to the Rangers. We've got Tyone to the Cubs, too. I'm not totally upset with that. I know he's a really good pitcher, and there was a lot of talk that the Twins might be going after him. but I'm glad he's not going to the White Sox or the Guardians. So in the end, it is what it is. At least he's in the other division. We got Haniger going to the Giants and Taijuan Walker to the Phillies. And then, like I said just now, Quintana to the Mets and Kenley Jansen the Red Sox. I'd say those are some of the most notable ones that jump off the page other than what we've already seen. But that means a lot of the balls are dropping, and there's not a lot of free agents left.
Yeah. So we don't want the Twins to mess this up, basically. We need to make some moves, yeah.
They have to make some moves. They've talked about trading Luis Arraez. I know a lot of the fan base wouldn't like to see that, but if it means they have to do it to make some moves to get some starting pitching, we have to get starting pitching. We need another top-of-the-order guy. We have Kenta Maeda is going to be back. We obviously traded last year for Tyler Mahle, and he's going to be hopefully great again. Sonny Gray and Joe Ryan, and those are kind of our core four, but we know that the Twins like to have a little bit of depth. We used a lot of starting pitchers last year. I think they'd like to move guys like Bailey Ober in and out of the starting rotation, but they need another number one guy. We can't be going out there and rolling out and saying, the second year Joe Ryan is necessarily our number one guy, or, Sonny Gray or Mahle or even Kenta Maeda being our number one. They're all kind of number 2 to 3 guys. We need to get that ace. We need to find somebody via free agency. But really, free agency is just Carlos Rondon, it feels like, that's left. I don't know. Sean Manaea has potential for a lot less. I'd be happy to see him come to the team. Plus his flow. And we know Minnesota likes their hockey hair lettuce, so.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. It's hard to say, though.
All right. Well, you know what? We will keep everyone updated. Is there anything else you want to add? You hit everything. Is there anything else?
I would say keep an eye on your phone. My phone's buzzing with all kinds of trade rumors right now, and the winter meeting's wrapping up today. I think I can't say enough, with Judge signing today, everybody's going to start to sign. Everyone who is holding their pockets tight to maybe be able to pay Judge, those teams are going to go, we got to spend now before it's too late, because some of these guys are already off the table. And Correa is going to go soon. I'd be surprised if he's still a free agent in 24 hours from now, to be honest.
Well, I'm sure I know we will let everyone know on Twitter as soon as that happens. So, all right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff at Hot Dish Sports. And, go Twins.